Hi everyone, and these are my predictions for the American election. These predictions are being made on the 30th of August 2020. Now, you might not agree with some of the things I have to say in this video broadcast, so please put your comments and I will certainly pick up on those for future broadcasts. With the American elections coming up, I think Trump was right in that this is going to be one of the most important elections of all time for America. And not just because Trump wants it to be the most important election because it's him, but it's going to determine between which way the world swings, whether it swings right or towards liberalism, as it's kind of been the divide that's been happening in America. Now, my main thoughts have been that the Black Lives Matter movement is actually going to put Donald Trump in power. I know that sounds counterintuitive and it sounds completely crazy on one level, but my feeling is, now I've been saying Trump's going to be re-elected right since the start of 2019, and you remember I said that Trump would be elected way back when he was first a nominee, and everybody thought he didn't stand a chance. Well, the polls are against him badly at the moment, and I'm not saying one way or the other who I think should be in power, you know. That's not for me to say. I'm British anyway, and I just get feelings about these things. But I think the Black Lives Matter movement is going to backfire. Any normal person would be against the police brutality and any form of violence against any other human being, whatever race or creed or whatever, is dreadfully wrong. And you know, this is why, of course, there's been so much upset. I mean, remember I said, the Naadi said that after the pandemic, and we still got the pandemic, but after the pandemic there would be a lot of social unrest, and this is what's been happening. Now, that social unrest has made people look for a cause to go out and protest about. You know, now I'm not saying the Black Lives Matter movement isn't relevant, but it's being fueled by the energy of the repressed sort of feelings that people have had because they had lockdown, because you have the fear of the virus, which is that fear energy has been welling up. And it kind of, something had to burst somewhere. If it hadn't been Black Lives Matter, it might have been something like a protest about the environment, or it might have been political, or it might have been whatever, you know. Something lit it. And Black Lives Matter lit the torch that exploded this petrol of unrest that people were feeling anyway. And of course, it's a just cause, you know, because you're fighting against something that is obviously dreadful. But it was a peaceful movement. And what's happened is it's been taken over. Now, it's been taken over, in my opinion, by hidden forces. This is what I've been feeling. In fact, it's more than an opinion. It's something I've been saying for a long time, before this even really came onto the scene. I was feeling that money is being used to try to hijack the American election. Where is that money coming from? Is it people like Soros? Is it China? Is it Russia? Is it even the Republican Party doing this? You know, where is that money coming? If something is being put into this environment to create chaos out of what was a protest. You know, Black Lives Matter, is it right that people's businesses are torn down and burnt to the ground and robbed and looted? People who have nothing to do with the movement or anything, just, you know, it's been taken over by some form of force. Someone in the background has been putting fuel onto the fire deliberately. And I think this has political implications. So when I say that it's Black Lives Matter that's going to put Trump into power, what I mean is the movement was hijacked. The movement has created enormous social unrest. If you're behind in the polls, it is useful for you to have as much unrest as possible. Now, Biden has put all his money on the horse that we're going for supporting Black Lives Matter. We're going to support the underdog. We're going to support all this. But of course, when that turns nasty, the silent voters look at it all and think, I don't like this, I want law and order. And of course, Trump comes in playing the card of law and order. So my thought is that Black Lives Matter, and I've been saying this right from the start, you remember some of the earlier videos I made, I think Black Lives Matter is going to make the silent voter say, I'll vote for Trump. Because these polls mean absolutely nothing. Now, again, I'm not saying I want Trump or not. This is just what I'm feeling. And these are my gut feelings about it. And like I say, money is behind this. Where it comes from, I'm not sure. It could even come from the Q admin movement. Or it could even come from the other side, from Soros. Like I say, it's going in there somewhere. My gut feeling, actually, it's China started this off. Chinese money is in there somewhere. It's a Marxist organisation, so it's useful for the communists to want to push that, alleged Marxist organisation. But I think there's quite strong proof that there's a strong Marxist influence behind all this. So that, I think, is backfired, and this is why it's going to push Trump into power. But I've been saying Trump's going to be in power right from the word go, and I still hold by that Trump will be elected. Now, as for Joe Biden, I see Joe Biden as a very nice guy. He seems a pretty good guy, actually, when you look at him. A bit like Theresa May was here in the UK. But Theresa May was a weak leader in a time when we needed strong leadership, particularly over the Brexit thing. Those in America will remember. We were in absolute chaos in the Houses of Parliament. All of that's changed now, but that was because of the weak leadership of Theresa May. Now, I feel that Joe Biden, to me, is not strong. He hasn't called out to the public. He isn't calling strongly to people's sense of patriotism, ultimately, because ultimately you're voting for America, aren't you? And I feel he's going to be seen as quite weak, and Trump is already playing on this, but will play on this more, that Biden cannot maintain law and order. But here's another prediction, and I've been saying this for a while too. I have a feeling that something's going to happen with Joe Biden at a critical time towards the election. I had a feeling that he might not even stand. I think he will, but there was this feeling there was something wrong, whether it's an illness or something happening to him. I feel there's going to be something coming up, and I can't see it completely, but there's something coming up that's going to cause some problems for Biden right at critical times towards the call of the election. Now, it's bad enough having, at an election time, a virus in the background, and it's bad enough having public unrest in the background and economic uncertainty in the background. But I also feel there's going to be two other things that are going to be causing problems between now and election day. On the one hand, I feel there's going to be some international conflicts of some sort that has, I can't quite see where it is, but there's going to be an international conflict of some sort. And in the background, there's talk about Russia being behind it, of encouraging it in the background. You see, I feel the countries such as Russia and China and North Korea and Iran and so forth, they're relishing this period of instability in America, and they're pouring fuel on the fire. So I think there's going to be another outbreak of chaos. Again, this will backfire because it's the law and order message that's going to come in as the voters' preference. So there's something like that happening. I can't quite tell where it is. It could be the Middle East or possibly North Korea again, but something is going to be in the background soon that's going to cause a great deal of upset, that's going to swing voters' thoughts in the election. So we're going to see conflict on the streets. We're going to see some world conflict that will involve shipping too. I feel it's going to be at sea, this conflict. It's something at sea because I see ships involved with this. I don't even know if they're civilian or warships, but I saw ships in my vision for this. But I also see another problem coming up, because I feel we're also going to have another environmental problem in America. Again, coming up towards November time, I feel there's another environmental problem that's going to put even more chaos into the mix. So this is going to be an election that's going to be fought in fear. I felt at first, didn't I? Do you remember I said about 9 months ago that I felt the election might even be cancelled? It's not going to be cancelled, I think, now. I'm kind of changing my mind a bit about that. But it was in the air, wasn't it? It nearly got to that point. Though I think the conflict in the air is going to make voters... This is going to make one of the most volatile elections of all time. The opinion polls will matter nothing, because this is going to be a period where it's like trying to vote in a thunderstorm. That's the sort of vision I had of this. So, Trump wins, and I've said this, 2019 I said this, and I said I felt this, he will get this second term. Like it or not, he's got a second term. And what will that second term bring? Well, I'll have to do that in a full video later. But some of the things I see ahead for the future of the world, but also in America. Food shortages. This is going to be a serious problem, both in America and around the world. Food shortages. In America too, homelessness. I see big rise in homelessness. And blackouts even, because I feel infrastructure damage of some sort there in America too. But more about that at another time. So those are my thoughts for the American election, with these predictions being made on the 30th of August 2020. So I hope you found that thought-provoking. I'll do some more predictions next month. And if you enjoy this channel, do please subscribe to the channel, because you'll get updates every time I put these videos up online. And you'll also, of course, be able to see all the other stuff we're doing on this channel. I know this is very serious stuff when we're talking about predictions like this, but you can also see some of the fun stuff with me and Jane and my family, and a few things that will help you gain insights into the psychic world, and hopefully give you some help to disperse some of the misconceptions about the spiritual world. So enjoy our channel, come to it. We try to be cheerful here. We try to answer all your comments where we can, and certainly if you really like this channel, do become a patron of the channel. That means you give a small amount each month to help support the channel, but it also helps us with our longer term aim, which is to get a spiritual centre where we can do a lot of this stuff live with an audience. And also we are, of course, doing a lot of work trying to help with things like helping the hungry. So you'll see some of that in the videos if you go to the Patreon pages. Anyway, thanks for joining us. See you soon. Bye for now.